Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for hosting us over here. Danny is beautiful, always with the lovely people. And those of us who are watching later, and those of us who sometimes showing up to say hello to me in person, also very appreciative. As I said last week, I want to keep reminding us that we are in a process of 4 weeks between what we call Purim, which is the high holiday, which we explained what it means, and Passover. Ultimately, each one of us want to receive the strength to break free from all the limitation that we have in life. That's ultimately what we're asking for. Now, one will say, I'm free. I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. Do you? Can you? Right? Maybe I arrange my life this way, and you can never break free from anything in what we call in the spiritual world, because we're dealing with what we call information, or I would say, negativity from past. So things that we left open, even in this year, right? Things that we left open in our lifetime, and we think, I'm moving on. We had a bad year in business, but we're moving on. If you don't fix what caused the bad year in business, sure enough, it's coming back. If you didn't fix what was wrong in the relationship and you move to a different relationship, no problem. It's going to come back. If you had a health issue 6 years ago, but you don't know the cause of the issue, it's going to come back. It's the same thing. It's like when you cut a tree, right? You can cut it from the branch, you can cut the leaf, you can take all the fruits out of it. But sure enough, it's going to keep growing. You cut the trunk, it's going to keep growing. Not just that, will expand to more, unless you take its source. You convert its source. And these 4 weeks. It's totally to melt all the way down to the source and never let it grow, as a new creation. Completely remove it, uproot it. Don't let it an inch in your life. Don't let it linger a second in your life, because it's coming back. Anything we left open, coming back. And these 4 weeks, we have an opportunity to bring it, what we call in Kabbalah, proactive. Initiate a conversation with the old self of you, with the old way that you lived your life 6 years, without excuses, without all kind of reasons and all kind of make yourself feel good about it. That's where I've been. This is how I live my life. Now I'm changing it. That's fine. But pretending or make it not what it is, something else, eventually you can't hide from that. So these 4 weeks is going to bring stuff to you. Things will come up in your life. Really pay attention, because the universe providing to you free to deal with this situation that you haven't dealt before. One of the things that we want in Passover, which means we're going to speak about as we get closer to that day, because there's a lot of preparation, but I don't want to skip what this week as gift can give us. But ultimately, in Passover, you want to eventually come to a level that you are completely distinguished between what's good for you and what's bad for you. Most of us think that we know what's good for me, what's bad for me. These people are still good for me because they can still providing some insight. Until they're not good for me, I'm going to send them away. You have to remember, if you don't make that separation, it cements itself after what we call Passover. Because Passover is a moment in time, is a window of opportunity to break free from all the negativity, all the chain that limits you, that let's say maybe not limit you, but slow you down tremendously. As opposed to be free from that bondage, free from this limitation. This is the goal. This is the 4 weeks. I'm going to speak about it every week as we get there. What is specifically this week? Specifically this week, it's called the Parashat Shmini, the 8th day. That's the portion. It's called 8th day. What is literally happening in this portion? If we remember, we spoke about that Moses got instruction by the Creator to build with all the Kohanim, all the priests, to build a structure where it's going to be what we call the Mishkan, the tabernacle, a place where they can worship the Creator, a place where they can sacrifice the altar over there, make sacrifice, a place where they can generate light of healing for the nation. That we know. What we call the Kodesh HaKodashim. They had a structure called the Mishkan that represent the holiest of the holiest. Now we know that is the physically was built, and information that was built, structure that was built, but we know we don't have that structure anymore physically in our possession. Therefore, the reading about it is a connection to it. And where is that structure? Only an internal structure. These 4 weeks, these 4 portions allow you to activate the Mishkan inside of you. The Mishkan is the holiest of the holiest within you. That is, because once it's activated, you will never submit yourself to a negative situation. You will never enter to a place which is an impure place. You will be aware of negativity that comes your way. If and when your holy temple, the holiest of the holiest within you, is activated. Once it's activated, it's very hard to turn it off. So this is the big picture. And in the 8th day, what does it say? And again, maybe it's a funny story or not, but I just gave an example. So Moses given instruction, the entire nation giving money. We're talking about 600,000 people giving money, gold and silver, and and to build it and to structure that, and it took a long time, and they build it, they rebuild it. Eventually comes this portion and says, now the Mishkan need to be activated. And when it's activated, meaning like they all expecting the light of the Creator to be revealed to everyone. So they're finishing the process, and everybody's standing there, and like they maybe I can put it in a way like they turn on the switch, nothing happened, right? So imagine, they open. I gave the example, the biggest screen in the world, like they open in a Sphere in Vegas, big thing in the world of entertainment. Imagine they bring how many, I don't know how many people can be there, 40,000, 20,000, whatever. 20,000 coming in, they turning on the switch, nothing. And there comes the manager, listen, I don't know what happened, maybe technical difficulty, come tomorrow. Everybody goes out, they come tomorrow. Again, 8 different days, every day. What happened to the people? You tell them in the Sphere, hey, come back, hey, I have hotel, I took hotel, okay, I'm going to get another hotel, I spend money in the casino, you want me to come again? What is it? And people start to complain, give us bigger money, right? That's what happened right now. So Moses and Aaron and all the Kohanim, all the priests, bringing all the people, he says, like, okay, that should happen right now. The first day, nothing happened. Second day, no. It's like every day, nothing happened. Everybody's like, oh, Moses stole our money, and they use us, and all of that. That's exactly what happened back then. That's exactly what happened today to all of us. when we think we're doing certain actions that will generate and will give us a certain result. And the result that we're looking for is a result that is based on your schedule, nothing to do with when the light needs to be revealed. And therefore, if we know, in the 8th day, the Mishkan was lit, right? So, but that information was not known to Moses and Aaron. He says, finish the structure, the light of the Quran will be revealed. And every day they're coming in and they pray and everybody's there waiting, nothing happened. Obviously, another point of view that I shared, which is a very important piece of information that I shared yesterday with somebody from what we call the Ben Ish Chai, is very great Kabbalist, and he shared Ashirut, wealth, abundance, money, knowledge or revelation, elevated state of an individual, right, will appear in someone's life. He says, יקרה בהיסח הדעת, in a blink of an eye. Meaning, like we learn, ask any wealthy person or somebody who become rich, right? Did money knock on your door and told you, by the way, tomorrow I'm coming? Is the next level, your spiritual next level, happen without your even knowledge? When somebody become famous, they don't really like build it the same. They say, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden I became so famous, right? I didn't even intend to be famous. A lot of people sometimes need to understand that when you chase after money, its nature is to run away from you. Therefore, anyone who think that again, any spiritual person who's chase after money, after fame, after all of that, eventually it's gonna come and bite him. It's gonna take it away. It's gonna take you away from your path. It's gonna take you away from everything. Don't chase after that. Let it come to you. Invite it. By being ready for that, by thinking this way. A lot of us are so possessed by, I'm going to make this, I'm going to make that. More you chase after that, more it's run away from you. These are a universal rule. So therefore, the Mishkan is teaching us that. What does it teach me? Patient, be patient. How long? It's nothing to do with patient, because a lot of us, patient is related to what? A time, a schedule. If you tell me, okay, be patient where there's 20 people in front of you, I know I need to be patient 20. Imagine you finish the 20 people in front of you, and now they say, no, you have to wait 20 more. Then the person will explode, right? Then he loses it. Because the same way you waiting, the same way your negative side also know to attack you when it's coming. So therefore the Creator is teaching us in this week, when it comes, it's going to come in thunders. It's going to come with lightning. It's going to come in a way that you can never expect. Just don't chase after that. Just be. Just inject energy. Just make the connection. It will reveal when it reveal for all of us. Not just reveal for you. Your next level, your elevated state will be revealed to you. A lot of people come to me and we're speaking about it. I'm doing Kabbalah study. I'm in Kabbalah. Wow, how many levels in Kabbalah? Right? We're speaking about the last week. What do you mean? What level am I? Why do I need a title? Why do I need a title with the little notes that tell me, oh, Benjamin is an approver? Who needs that? What is it? How can you relate to something like that? And no matter what type of titles and words you're going to put, it's still so small spiritually. Maybe for the ego, maybe if you are a coach and you need a master coach or whatever it is, people need to sell a title or whatever it is. This week is teaching you, take off those titles. Take off those scheduled things. And be. And for that, That's why it revealed in the 8th day. What does 8th day represent? It's called Parashat Shmini, the Shmini, the 8th day. Shmini is the word Shmone, which is the number 8. And we know that 8 in the system of the tree of life represent the energy of Bina. It represents what we call in Kabbalah the supernal mother, right? There is Mother Earth that represent in the world of Malchut, and the energy of Mother Earth is what we call Bina, which is a combination, right, of the supernal mother and the earth-bound, the people, motherly earth. And we know that this combination has to work together, because life in this world without light, without revelation, without energy or light force of the Creator, it's almost dead. It's actually literally dead, right? So therefore, in this week, the power of the Mishkan should give us in this week, and again, if you really bring it to your life, you should ask for that. I want a clear division between what's good for me and what's not good for me. Don't mistakenly think or even be with your ego that I know what's good for me and I know what's at the beginning. But later on is always translated as something wrong, as something bad. Or even the bad obviously was actually very good for you, that you pushed it away because you couldn't handle it and you pushed it away and then you didn't get the benefit. So this is the consciousness that we want to receive. This is what we call the Sfirat Bina, the level of Bina. What is the word Bina? Bina comes from the word Havana. Havana is understanding, clarity, but the most important thing is to have observation, right? To have a clear view of the situation. And for that, you need this week's energy. So this is what activates your spiritual vessel. We had to activate our spiritual vessel. How do we activate our spiritual vessel in this week? Through the energy of Bina. This is what you need. What do I need to do this week? Because most of us operate in a very limited way, fragmented way. We can't see everything as one, as whole. It's very hard to see that everything is connected once in a while, right? But our soul works and operates in a level that is illogical. Our soul doesn't work in a logical way. So therefore, anytime you look for logic, or anytime you look for working according to a plan, basically it's the plan of your ego. It's the plan of the physical world. Because your body is connected to a certain limitation. Therefore, in order to activate the true Mishkan, the true what we call tabernacle, the true sense of the holiest, you have to be a person of disruption. You need to disrupt the whole market. You need to disrupt the whole system. That's what Bina is about. If you just want to make a little change, little things there, I just need a little bit, you don't need that energy. But complete disrupt, no borders, no lack, right? No logic, no brain, right? This consciousness is what Bina is about. Because once you have that, I'll tell you more what is Bina, and I'll share that in other classes, but this example always important in this week. Because if it will happen to you this week, if you do the work, this is the result that you need to have. So imagine, right now in New York, there is $1 billion lottery prize. There was last week, somebody won 1 point something billion. Outrageous number. I wish I would know that person later on to see what happened, right? I don't want anything. I just want to know what will happen when such an amount of money comes to somebody. Anyway, there's $1 billion ticket right now, right? So imagine right now you're sitting and you have the numbers on a ticket that you actually paid. If you check in few hours from when you're watching this, and you realize that you have all the numbers, can you describe the moment of realizing that from your wherever you've been, your plain state of mind, regular day, all of a sudden you pull the ticket and you see the numbers? What is just happening to you? Most people, right? I would say all the people, they can't stay like dormant or like, okay, another $1 billion. Well, it's nothing, right? We are going to be outrageous. You're going to scream and run around naked in the street. Who cares? I have $1 billion, right? You're going to be able to, you're going to call your boss, I'm quitting, right? Because I have all this money, right? You're going to do things that are illogical. You're going to call your friend, let's go out and let's get a yacht and do for a year. I'm taking a year off, right? Things that you're not going to be able to control even because of that. And what is the idea? The idea of Binah energy, the consciousness of this week, is that you need to awaken what's inside of you. You need to know if you will have the opportunity to see the holiest of the holiest that the Creator inserted within each one of us. Once you're going to realize that, you will never stop. You'll never stop. That's what you're missing. That one piece to see what's inside of you. The amount of wisdom that is inside of you. The amount of solution. The amount of powers that is inside each one of us. If you're a human being, you have that. But it's never going to show you. Because a lot of people will see that, oh wow, it's amazing, what can I do about it? If you understand what's inserted inside of you, this is what you want. After Passover, right, you're going to want to break free from any limitation, any ego, any type of behavior that is limited, that is fragmented, that is separated. You will dump in a minute. And that is a result of you have a connection to Binah, which gives you an insight to the wisdom inside of you. This is the ultimate connection. Now, let's go to the details, which is very important to understand the reading of this week. Why? Because if you read this week, a lot of the reading, it speaks about what good for you to eat and what not good for you to eat. What type of animal you should eat, what type of animal you shouldn't eat. What type of food, what type of, places, and many, many things like that, or that you better do or sacrifice for the sake of having a better connection to yourself. All these years, all these portions, all the readings that people are reading every year, these particular portions that are going on right now, it speaks about a lot of the stuff that religion were, buying, meaning, and selling us in a way of have to. You have to eat kosher. Why should I eat kosher? I'm not even Jewish. Not myself, or the person will claim I'm not Jewish, or why should I do this, or why should I do that? Right? It says in the Torah, but it was outdated. It was like a few thousand years ago. So what is it related to our life? Two things that is important to understand over here. The Kabbalah says, and again, it's very important to understand why we're getting into it, because it's, let me maybe give you the end result, and you will tell me why we need to study that. I'm sure all of us throughout life, whenever you had an opportunity to be spiritual, again, spiritual meaning not just call myself spiritual, but actually doing the work. Actually doing the daily, the routine, the access to everything, All of us maybe get excited to do something, and then we kind of like fell off the wagon, you're going to call it. Right? Or we got excited, I don't know what happened, Or even I know many people who study Kabbalah, in my circle, I'm doing it for probably more than 25 years, close to 30 years, and I see many people right and left falling, right? The excuses are different, but in the end result, they're not longer connecting to the path. Not to Kabbalah, to any of the path. Some people even were teachers, and they completely went off track. What is it? And they ate kosher, so what's the point, right? It's nothing to do with that. It's nothing to do with food. It is, but secondary. First, to understand the consciousness. I'm sure that all of us experiencing the feeling of, I had enough of this. I tried it enough. Nim'as li, right? I had enough of these answers. I had enough that everything have an answer. I have enough that every time I have a difficulty, I can't blame. I'm done with this, right? A lot of people experiencing that, like the, how you call it? I'm done with this. I'm done with the spiritual. I tried. I gave it a try. A lot of people are calling it this way. They're doing a lot of work. I see them, they're coming, they're excited, and all of a sudden something happened. Our negative side, our evil side. We all have evil side. It's not a secret, right? We all have that. That's what he's doing. He's always making sure to allow you to do the spiritual or to be on a path, and slowly tells you, you see, 8 days, nothing happened. 8 days can be 8 years, You're doing it for 8 years. You still didn't have wealth. You still didn't this. You still didn't that, right? Or somebody's sick and you should do this, you should do that. They do it and eventually it doesn't solve the problem. What do? Oh, I have enough. I did enough. I think I tried. I've done enough, What is it speaks about? It speaks about when a person eats a certain food. It's called sheretz. Sheretz is the one who was on the ground, right? But sheretz is like the word is. Let's just say mute. All the different animals, reptiles, and all kind of like insects. Okay, insects. So all kind of food like that. Does anybody here love to take a bunch of ants and eat them? No. Anybody take flies and like, oh, it's a nice fly, let's eat it? No. Nobody is, again, maybe there's other countries or other nations that really gladly eating all this stuff, But we have to understand, anytime we eat food that is not really good for us, any food that is not good for us, eventually it becomes a sheketz. What is sheketz? That's what the Torah is mentioning. It's abomination, disgusting. You feel ma'us. You feel like how you call it? Distasteful. That's disgusting. Distasteful. Destination. Right? When somebody gets disgusted from something. Yeah, that's it. Okay, this is the word. We're checking that we are on the right page. And when somebody is like, all of a sudden, I'm done with this, I feel enough of this, that is a result of wrong connection to food. Unrelated. All of a sudden, somebody even feel lazy. Right? Yeah, you can say it if you eat a big meal, obviously later on you're sitting down, you need to relax, you need to digest. Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking that all of a sudden you don't even know why you don't want to do spiritual work. All of a sudden I don't feel, Monday, okay, I'm going to call tomorrow. You don't even know this because of wrong food you ate 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago? 3 months ago. It's eventually go through the food, and I tell you why. I tell you why. Rav Ashrag, one of the Kabbalists, said, I want to share it with you because I thought it's beautiful understanding. Ha'adam hu olam katan. Each one of us, it's like a small world. Small world. Olam katan, a small world. שנכלל כל פרטי דומח, צומח, חי ומדבר. That the man is inclusive of all the 4 kingdoms, and we're speaking about it in the last couple of weeks, but it's important for this discussion. Meaning, the mineral world, vegetation, animal, and the human. It's all in our world. If you are a small world, in your world you need to have all the 4 different kingdoms. וכל פרט מהם מוכרחים להתגלות במחשבתו, בפעולותיו ורצונותיו. All 4 kingdoms will be revealed to the individual, or will reveal from the individual in 3 ways. In the way he thinks, in the way he acts, and in the way of his desires. So remember, sometimes we have a desire to do nothing, right? We have a desire to be flat, right? You want to be an inanimate object, right? I'm just going to stand there, right? Sometimes you have a desire for it. You don't even know why, right? Sometimes you have a desire, or you're thinking like an animal, or you're thinking in a very nasty way, or sometimes you become wild beast, right? Or sometimes you become like a bird, right? Don't you feel like a bird sometimes? Talking bad about everybody? I'm not saying that birds talking bad, but the birds are tweaking all day long, tweeting, right? Tweets. It's all the kingdoms within you that are launching different things within us. Different weird desires. I don't know where it came from. Why am I behaving this way? Why am I thinking this way? Why do I just want to do this? ולפעמים וחושב ורוצה כמו איזה פרט של החיות הרעות, and all of a sudden the individual don't know that all of a sudden you're thinking like a tiger, or you're thinking like a lion, וכמו אריה ונמר וזאב יטרוף, and you want to be like sneaky like a fox, or fox, right? Why am I like that? I don't understand. I don't want to be sneaky like that. I don't want to hide stuff, right? I spoke to somebody hiding something for a few years. And I says, why do you do that? You talking, you can share with me, right? Then later, you see many things like that. ולפעמים כמו פרד מהעופות הדורסות או בהמה, all of a sudden, some of us react in a certain way. We don't know why we are like that. Remember, now we have to remember. All the kingdoms eventually control, within the individual, controlling the way you think, the way you behave, and the way you desire, right? So if you don't understand that the animal kingdom is the strongest ruling force in the individual, in your life, why? Because we are the closest to that, and majority of us are not yet level of human. We are still struggling there. We want to be, we should be. And then he says, if you understand that you are a structure of all the kingdoms, you need to be able to handle them in the right, appropriate way. כי אין אדם חושב אלא מהרהורי ליבו. So now, we spoke a little bit about it, that the idea that somebody act in a negative way. A person will not act in a negative way unless he's for some time wondering or thinking about it, right? Or at least a thought of negativity eventually build up for a certain action, right? Little by little, you're thinking. You see the person behave in a negative way, and you're wondering, should I stay in business with them, right? And let's me another meeting. Should I do another? You're wondering, should I be? Eventually, they do one action. I'm done with them. But what happened? I don't even know. What happened? You don't know, but the other person was wondering for a while about you. He just didn't tell you. Now again, the Kabbalist shared, Hirhur garua memase. The Ben Ish Chai says that when somebody sits and thinking negative, right? A lot of us, sitting around and thinking negative. Oh, you know what? Even though the negative, like complaining, right? You have a certain complaint about a certain thing, right? Or you have a certain negativity about a certain person, or about something that somebody did, and you don't deal with it. Eventually, that wonder, that thought, right, will manifest as a negative action. Eventually, all those wondering, activating all the 4 levels, all the 4 kingdoms within you. And eventually, one of them will come out wrong. Now, if a person still, again, this is the problem, a negative action is less problem than all this wandering of negativity. Because an action you did, and it's done. It doesn't continue. Wandering or thinking negative is before and after. And you keep in suspend, all of you. And as you keep wondering or thinking or have shame and guilt about what you've done yesterday, eventually it will activate the weakest kingdom within you. So either if it's the mineral world, you're going to be depressed beyond, you're not going to have energy to move. Because mineral is inanimate, nothing going on. And so, and different way in different kingdoms. But this week, it speaks about particularly the animal, because it's the most strongest affiliation for human being. That's what is important to remember. They have more influencing us, and we're influencing the animal much more than any other, because it's the closest one to us. So the Kabbalists explain what you want to have when he speaks about eat the proper food for you. Now again, I know that today there is satiation of all kind of options and all kind of things. When it comes down to animal kingdom, all kind of insects, all kind of like reptile, and all kind of things that walk in, people eating snakes, people eating, the biggest joke is the pig, right? Because again, I know for some of us, you think, well, what's wrong with that? Because there's an outside, actually physically, from the outside, the pig as all look like a kosher animal. You should know that. Outside, right? But inside, even inside, it does part of the work that it's connected to a kosher food. But in missing one particular object over there. So in a way, in the outside, what is it? You never know. There's sometimes people lure you into something because they connected to the animal called pig. So outside, it looks like they care for you, they love you, they really but inside they're missing a piece that is really for the sake of the other person. They do it selfishly, right? And again, many of the animal that seems like calm, and all of a sudden they come after you, right? Happened to you? Have you been with somebody that is like so calm, so collective? All of a sudden, an animal came out of them. You could not expect it, right? What is it? Therefore, also, even if it's kosher or not kosher, a person sometimes needs to be aware. Maybe that type of food is not good for you. Maybe fish is not good for you. Maybe meat is not good for you. Maybe that particular meat is not good for you. It doesn't really promote the good side of you. Animals have a big influence on us. Again, not to say you cannot eat animal or you should eat only kosher animal. There's nothing to do with it. You have to check your energy, how you communicate after you eating a certain food, after you are connecting to a certain food, what type of thinking, what type of desire comes to you, what type of dreams come promoted for you. Very important. This is how you can control the holiest of the holiest. You bring yourself to the ultimate state of functionality if you know to eat right. And again, what is the whole idea of kosher? It's not because they said so. The specific part of this kingdom that is not meant to be serving us of that level where we are today. When we achieve ultimately the control over who we are, any animal will be able to be used as food because it's going to be also for the sake of elevating the animal as well, not just for my service. That's the actual revelation over here. So now, if we don't understand that what you eat, that's what you become. What comes out of your mouth is what you ate yesterday. You have to remember that is influencing you. So you need also to work on yourself before Passover to ask yourself, what am I separating from myself? Because some people, for example, for me, I do a lot of fasting, intermittent fasting or fasting, for sometimes extended time. So I had to question, maybe it's not good for me. Maybe it's not good for me. Maybe it's not the right way for me. Maybe I need to eat, many times. One day I tried 5 meals a day. I could not function. I cannot maintain even focus because every 2 hours, I have to eat something. I couldn't function. That functionality, because my style or my energy level, I feel I don't need that food all day. I don't need to be consumed with that. Some people that it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that it's right, it's wrong, but you have to take care of first of all, your well-being by, first of all, the right food. The amount of food, I can tell you for sure, we're eating 2/3 more than what we should, for sure. There's no question. The amount is also a problem, which eventually will translate as, in a way, what we call feeling entitled in a way, sometimes. Okay, so again, each of these action or the kingdom that we're speaking about have the power to connect in a positive way. Connect to the positive aspect of the animal kingdom, of the vegetation kingdom, or the mineral world. And again, this is how you create a division. You have to find out what type of food am I eating, and how do I think, what type of action I'm taking after, and what type of desire is promoted within me. And slowly, if it's not a promotion of something positive, something elevate, you should create division between you and start connecting in a different way. Because again, food is also need to change because it's completely influence our momentum in life. So again, if you somehow feel, I'm done with spirituality, I'm done with this, I'm done with that, it's never happened automatically. It's the food that influences you. It's what is promoting to you over and over, and you don't even pay attention. That doesn't let you feel lighter about things, moving quickly, let go quickly, right? That is the food. This is this portion. This is what it is about. And again, remind you, Passover is all about to give us quality of life, quality of relationship, quality of connection. Rosh Hashanah, we're speaking about it, is give us the days to live. But Passover is about the quality of your life, the quality of your connection, the quality of your communication. So anyway, there's continue way more, but what do we want to solve here? We want to awaken the energy of Binah. The energy of Binah have the energy to activate the holy temple within you. The holy temple within you cannot be activated if you are connected to the wrong energy. If you are promoting an energy that is limited, that is forceful, that is aggressive, that is too aggressive. I don't have a problem with aggression. I have a problem when it's about controlling others, when it's about, not let other people choice. You have to move. You have to be aggressive with your negative side, but not with people. You have to use that animal part to make your lion scream at your negative side. Yes, you need to do that, but not at people, not threatening others. That's your animal part. Again, if you understand that what is been given to us this week is a huge momentum to your spiritual path, a beautiful quality of a connection to who you are. We're going to continue talking about it more, but I think it's good enough for this week. Thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful week.